The starship Horizon floated silently through the Epsilon Eridani system. Its sleek silver hull reflected the dim light of the nearby sun, and inside, the hum of engines was the only sound in the control room. Captain Arya Duval, a veteran of many exploration missions, stared at the holographic map of the planet below. "Coordinates locked," said Lieutenant Ray Mikesh, pointing at the glowing dot on the map. "Planet E47. Conditions stable. Atmosphere breathable. No life forms detected, at least from orbit." Arya's lips pressed into a thin line. Years of experience told her that orbit scans often miss the smaller, hidden forms of life. "Prepare the landing team," she said. "We go down slowly. Eyes open, sensors ready." The landing shuttle shook slightly as it left the starship and descended through the thin clouds of E47. The planet's surface glimmered with colors that seemed almost alive. Strange, tall grass swayed even though there was no wind, and rivers reflected the sky in a way that made the land look like a painting. As the shuttle touched the ground, the team stepped out, boots crunching softly on the glowing soil. Dr. Lena Harrow, the team's xenobiologist, immediately activated her scanners. "Captain, I'm picking up multiple life forms," Lena said, her voice trembling with excitement. "They're beautiful. I've never seen anything like this. Their energy patterns, it's like they are made of light." Arya followed Lena's gaze. There, moving gently among the tall grass, were small, bioluminescent creatures. Their bodies shimmered with soft blues, greens, and pinks, and they emitted faint musical sounds as they moved. They were small, no taller than a human knee, but their presence filled the area with a sense of peace. "They're not hostile," Lena whispered. "Look at how they react to us. They are curious." Arya knelt down, careful not to scare them. The creatures tilted their translucent heads toward her, tiny lights pulsing in a rhythm that felt almost like breathing. "All right, team," she said softly. "We observe first. We make no sudden moves. Let's see what they want." The explorers spent hours carefully documenting the Lyrani. The name Dr. Lena decided to give them based on their musical light patterns, which reminded her of a lyre. Each small movement of the Lyrani's lights seemed to carry meaning, and Lena worked quickly to decode their signals. "They communicate through light and sound," she said. "I think they have a form of language. It's complex, but there's friendliness in it." Suddenly, Arya's communicator beeped urgently. "Captain, we've detected a fleet entering the system. Unknown vessels. They're moving fast, likely warships." Arya's heart sank. "Scan for identification. Are they friendly?" Lieutenant Kesh shook his head. "Negative. Unknown ships, heavily armed. They are heading straight for us or the planet." The team exchanged worried glances. Arya's mind raced. "The Lyrani, they're defenseless. If these ships are hostile, they could destroy them without even thinking twice." Dr. Lena's voice was sharp. "We can't let that happen. We have to protect them." Arya nodded. "Agreed. Initiate warning broadcast. All colonies, all nearby ships. They need to know. Humans protect the Lyrani. Don't harm them." Within minutes, the message was sent across the star systems. "Humans said clearly, don't hurt our extraterrestrial friends," it read. Arya watched the glowing sky nervously, hoping their words would be enough. The team quickly prepared defensive measures. Shields were activated around the landing area, and non-lethal deterrents were readied. Every human on the planet understood one truth: they were guardians now. Meanwhile, the Lyrani moved closer to the humans, their lights flickering in what Lena interpreted as reassurance. They seemed to understand in their own way that the humans were not a threat. Hours passed. The unknown fleet moved closer, and tension grew. The explorers continued studying the Lyrani, recording every movement, every sound, hoping that knowledge would help protect them. As night fell on E47, the land became a glowing spectacle. The Lyrani's bodies lit up the grass and rivers with soft waves of color, creating patterns that were mesmerizing. It was both beautiful and sorrowful, knowing that danger approached this peaceful world. Captain Arya walked among the creatures, careful to keep her distance. She reached out a hand and one Lyrany floated toward her, lights pulsing faster. Lena's translation device attempted to interpret the signals. "Thank you, you see us. You protect us." Arya's throat tightened. She whispered, "We will protect you. I promise." The first shots of the incoming fleet were still hours away, but the humans prepared for what was to come. They built barriers from local materials, set traps that could disable ships without harming life, and coordinated their strategies. Every human felt the weight of responsibility. As the night deepened, strange storms of colored lights danced across the planet. Arya realized the Lyrany were trying to communicate something more. Lena deciphered it slowly. "We trust you. Together, we are strong." For the first time, Arya felt hope. Humans were far from the most advanced species in the galaxy. They didn't have weapons that could destroy entire fleets with a single shot. But they had something no one else had: determination, courage, and compassion. That might be enough. Dawn broke over the glowing grasslands, revealing more of E-47's beauty. The planet was alive in ways humans had never imagined. Trees with crystal-like leaves reflected the light of the rising sun. Rivers ran with water that shimmered in rainbow colors. And everywhere the Lyrany pulsed softly, filling the world with gentle music. The human team set up a perimeter around their base. Scouts were sent to explore nearby areas, hoping to find high ground or natural barriers that could help in defense. Everyone worked in silence, knowing that the next encounter could be dangerous. "Captain," said Lieutenant Kesh, scanning the approaching ships, "they're slowing down. Maybe they're reading our broadcast." Arya allowed herself a small sigh. "Maybe. Let's hope they understand the message, but we can't rely on hope alone. Prepare for every possibility." Hours later, the human team noticed subtle changes in the Lyrany. Their light pulses were sharper, faster, almost like a heartbeat racing. Lena interpreted it as a warning signal. Something was approaching faster than expected. "Shields up," Arya ordered. The humans scrambled to ready defenses, activating energy barriers around their base. Every person knew the stakes. They were not just fighting for themselves. They were fighting for a new species, innocent and fragile, whose life depended on their courage. Then from the horizon a shadow appeared. Not just a shadow, but the silhouette of enormous ships, moving with precision and intent. The fleet was unlike anything the humans had faced before. They were sleek, black, and silent, almost like predators in the night. The Lyrany reacted instantly. Their lights flared brightly, pulsing in rapid sequences. Lena translated, "Protect us, we are your friends." Arya looked at her team, determination in her eyes. "This is it," she said. "We protect them, no matter what. Humans protect the innocent." "That's who we are, let's show them." The stage was set. The first contact was peaceful, the warning was clear, and the humans of E-47 were ready to defend their new friends no matter the cost. For the Lyrany, a species that had never known violence, hope had arrived in the form of humans. And for humanity, the journey had just begun. A journey to show that courage, empathy, and intelligence could shine brighter than any weapon, even in the cold, dark reaches of space. The shadow of the unknown fleet stretched across the glowing fields of E-47. Captain Arya Duval's heart beat steadily, but her mind was sharp. The humans had a plan, but they knew the outcome was uncertain. Every member of the landing team moved with purpose, ready to defend the Lyrany, who now hovered nervously around their human friends. "Sensors show multiple ships," said Lieutenant Kesh. "They're slowing, but they are scanning. They know we're here." Arya's gaze swept across the landscape. The Lyrany's lights flickered in complex patterns, almost as if they were communicating with the humans in a language of pure emotion. Dr. Lena Harrow, ever attentive, bent down and whispered, "They're scared, but they trust us. They're asking us to protect them." Arya nodded. "Then that's exactly what we will do." The humans activated the defensive barriers they had set up the night before. They weren't designed to destroy ships, only to repel and confuse them. Drones hovered in the air, equipped with sensors that created illusions of energy and motion to mislead the fleet. It was not enough to fight the enemy head-on, but it was enough to buy time. The Lyrani, sensing the tension, began to move closer to the humans. Their lights pulsed rapidly, forming patterns Lena had been learning to understand. She read aloud, "We can help, we trust you, together strong." Arya smiled faintly. "Good, let's work together." From the distant horizon, the first of the black ships moved closer. Their engines glowed with a dim, cold light, and their design was sleek, almost predatory. The humans could see the crew aboard the ships monitoring the planet with precision instruments. "Prepare the perimeter drones," Arya ordered. "We'll need to distract them." No damage to the Lyrani, no damage to the land. Focus on defense and strategy. The humans worked in silence, moving quickly to position drones along key points. The devices projected shifting light patterns that mirrored the Lyrani's signals. The plan was simple: make the attackers hesitate, show strength without harming the planet or its creatures. Then, the fleet responded. A low hum vibrated through the air as energy shields projected from the black ships, scanning and probing. The humans noticed the sensors reacting to the Lyrani's light. It was clear. The aliens' energy patterns were unusual, difficult for the attackers to read. "They're confused," Lena said, pointing at the drones. "The Lyrani's signals, they're helping us." "They're creating interference," Arya nodded. "Good, keep it up. We're stronger together." Hours passed. The black ships advanced slowly, testing the humans' defenses. Each attempt to approach was met with a carefully timed burst of light and sound from the drones. The Lyrani's colors shifted and danced, amplifying the illusions. The humans moved between barriers, adjusting the drones' patterns and positioning. Then, one ship fired a probe. It floated toward the humans, scanning the area with a cold, precise light. Arya's hand went to her communicator. "Activate the pulse shields. Non-lethal interference only. Keep the probe from harming anything living." The pulse shields activated, sending waves of harmless energy that confused the probe. Its sensors failed to detect any life forms and it floated away harmless. The humans exhaled with relief, but Arya knew this was only the beginning. "Captain," Kesh said, pointing at the horizon, "they're sending another group, this time larger. They may be testing our reaction." Arya tightened her grip on the control panel. "Let us show them humans are not easy targets. Drones, shields, everything. And remember, we protect the Lyrani at all costs." The Lyrani responded. Their light pulses became faster, more intricate. Lena deciphered the pattern. "Follow the river, it leads to safety if needed. We will guide you." Arya's eyes followed the path of a glowing river that snaked through the landscape. "All right, if it comes to retreat, we move along the river. But first, we stand our ground." Humans don't back down when innocent lives are at risk. As the ships drew closer, the humans noticed something remarkable. The Lyrani's light patterns created natural camouflage for the humans. They were blending into the glowing environment, making it harder for the fleet to target them. Each pulse of the aliens' light seemed perfectly timed with the drone's illusions. "It's working," Lena said, her voice filled with awe. "They are part of the defense now. They are helping us without even knowing what we can do." Hours turned into a tense dance of strategy and patience. The humans moved swiftly, coordinating drones, shields, and energy pulses. The black ships hovered, testing, but unable to break through. Every time the fleet attempted an aggressive maneuver, the Lyrani's lights and humans' devices countered it. Then, a human scout spotted something unusual. "Captain, one of the ships, it's changing its approach. Slower, more careful. They are scanning our patterns." Arya studied the displays. "They are learning from us. Good, let them learn. We are not here to fight, but we are not afraid either." The day wore on, and the sun began to set over E47. The glowing grasslands bathed in soft, colorful light, making the humans' defenses appear even stronger. The Lyrani continued to communicate, their patterns more intricate than ever. Lena interpreted, "We trust you completely. You are our guardians." Arya felt a surge of determination. "Then we will not fail, not now, not ever." Night fell. The fleet hovered above, still testing, still uncertain. Arya called a meeting of her team. "Listen, everyone. This is more than just defense. This is about proving that humans can be protectors, not destroyers. The Lyrani trust us. The galaxy is watching. Let's show what we can do." The team nodded. Every soldier, engineer, and scientist felt the weight of responsibility. They had not trained for this exact moment, but they had something more powerful than any weapon: courage and unity. Suddenly, the fleet made its first coordinated move. 3 ships descended toward the human position, scanning aggressively. The humans activated every barrier, every drone, and every interference pulse. The Lyrani's lights responded, forming dazzling patterns that reflected across the river and grasslands. The ship's sensors failed. They couldn't locate any humans or Lyrani clearly. Confusion spread through the fleet. They tried to communicate, but the messages were blocked by human technology and the Lyrani's energy interference. Arya took a deep breath. "This is working. Keep going. Show them we will protect life at all costs." The fleet hesitated, uncertain of the humans' abilities and unwilling to risk damage to the planet. Slowly, they began to retreat, one ship after another, maintaining distance but still hovering in the system. The humans kept their defenses active, not lowering their guard until the last ship had moved beyond scanning range. When silence finally returned, the Lyrani pulsed in a slow, steady rhythm, a sign of relief and gratitude. Lena translated, "You have saved us. You are true friends." Arya walked among the glowing creatures, her heart swelling. "We are friends. That's all we wanted to be, and we will always protect you." The team gathered around the river, watching the fleet disappear into the dark sky. They knew this was only the beginning. More challenges would come. But for the first time, humans and Lyrani had faced danger together, and humans had proven that courage, intelligence, and empathy could overcome even the most advanced adversaries. Over the next few days, the humans worked to strengthen their defenses and learn more about the Lyrani. The aliens shared subtle knowledge, guiding humans to natural energy sources, safer paths, and hidden shelters. In return, humans taught the Lyrani about basic technology, communication tools, and environmental protection. The bond grew stronger with each passing hour. The Lyrani no longer hid when humans approached. They trusted them completely, and humans, in turn, felt a deep sense of responsibility. Captain Arya reflected on the events. "Humans are not the strongest species in the galaxy," she said quietly to Lena. "But we can be the most courageous. We can choose to protect instead of harm, and that makes all the difference." Lena smiled. "And today, we did exactly that. Together." As night fell again over E47, the glowing river and shimmering grasslands lit up with the Lyrani's beautiful patterns. Humans sat quietly, watching, knowing that the bond they had formed with these gentle beings would change the future, not just for them, but for the galaxy. The first test had been survived. The humans had stood their ground, not with weapons of destruction, but with courage, strategy, and empathy. The Lyrani were safe, and a message had been sent across the stars: humans protect those who cannot protect themselves. And in that quiet, glowing world, a new alliance was born, one that would shape the destiny of 2 very different species, bound by trust, respect, and the simple truth that life, in any form, is worth defending. The morning sun rose slowly over the glowing fields of E47. Captain Arya Duval stood at the edge of the river, watching the Lyrani pulse gently in the soft light. The creatures seemed calmer than ever before, their trust in humans now complete. For days, the unknown fleet had hovered at the edges of the system, unsure whether to return. But for now, peace had returned to this distant world. Arya breathed deeply, the fresh alien air filling her lungs. "We did well," she said quietly to Lieutenant Kesh, who was adjusting sensors along the riverbank. "We did more than well," Kesh replied. "We showed them humans can be more than just explorers or soldiers. We can be protectors." The Lyrani gathered near the humans, their soft lights forming intricate, beautiful patterns. Dr. Lena Harrow knelt beside one, her voice gentle. "I think they want to share something with us. Watch." The Lyrani's lights moved rhythmically, forming shapes that Lena translated with her device. "You saved us. We offer knowledge. Together we will grow stronger." Arya's eyes widened. "Knowledge of what kind?" Lena smiled. "They have lived here for thousands of years. They know how to harness energy naturally, how to survive harsh environments, and how to communicate across great distances without technology. If they share this with us, it could change the way humans colonize planets forever, without harming ecosystems or native life." Arya felt a surge of pride. Humans had faced danger, protected an entire species, and now they were being rewarded with wisdom. She turned to her team. "We need to record everything. This is history in the making, humanity and the Lyrani together." The next days were filled with learning and collaboration. Humans built small observation stations near the river, careful not to disturb the Lyrani. The aliens, in turn, guided the humans to natural energy sources and safe paths through the planet's glowing grasslands. Each interaction strengthened the bond between the species. One morning, Arya and Lena were walking along the river when Lena paused, staring at a strange formation in the rocks. "Captain, look at this. The Lyrani have carved patterns into the stone maps, I think, and symbols for energy nodes. They're showing us how to use the planet without harming it." Arya nodded, impressed. "They trust us completely. We need to honor that trust by being careful, thoughtful, and responsible." Meanwhile, Lieutenant Kesh was overseeing the drones. They no longer needed to be defensive. Instead, the drones helped map the terrain, collect samples safely, and record the Lyrani's movements. Humans and aliens were working as a single team now, learning from each other. However, news from other colonies reminded them that the galaxy was vast and unpredictable. The rival fleet that had tried to capture the Lyrani had not vanished entirely. Communications from nearby human settlements showed concern, but also admiration. Humans had not attacked, they had protected, and the message spread quickly: humans defend life. One evening, while observing the glowing river, Lena noticed the Lyrani forming a new pattern. The lights pulsed in sequences that seemed almost musical. She translated, "We want to show you something. Follow." Curious, Arya led her team through winding paths guided by the Lyrani's lights. They arrived at a large cavern illuminated by glowing crystals. Inside, the Lyrani had arranged an energy field, a natural form of power that humans had never seen before. The crystals absorbed sunlight and converted it into pure energy, enough to sustain a colony without harming the environment. Arya's eyes sparkled. This is incredible. We could use this to power our colonies safely without mining or pollution." Lena knelt beside the crystals. "And the Lyrani have done this for centuries. They've lived in harmony with their world. We could learn so much from them." The Lyrani pulsed with bright colors, almost as if they were pleased with the humans' understanding. Arya reached out gently, her hand hovering above the crystals. "We will protect this. We will learn, and we will make sure it benefits life everywhere, not just us." The team spent weeks exploring the cavern and learning about the energy system. Arya realized that this alliance was not just about survival. It was about building a future where humans and other species could thrive together. One day, a scout arrived with a message from the outer colonies. "Captain, the rival fleet is still monitoring our sector. They haven't attacked, but they're watching. They're curious about how humans defended E-47 without destroying anything." Arya smiled, a calm confidence in her eyes. Then let them watch. Let them see what humans are capable of when we choose courage and empathy over fear and aggression. That's our strength. As the sun set, the Lyrani gathered near the human base, their lights reflecting in the river. They pulsed a new pattern. Friends, protectors, together. Arya knelt beside Lena. I think they understand us better than most humans understand each other. Lena laughed softly. And they trust us completely. That's rare. That's precious. Over the next few months, the humans established a small research colony on E47. They learned to move without disturbing the environment, to harness the natural energy systems the Lyrani shared, and to communicate in simple light and sound patterns. Every day, humans and Lyrani grew closer, their understanding deepening. During a quiet evening, Arya stood on a hill overlooking the colony. The Lyrani glowed softly along the riverbanks, and the humans worked together in harmony. She thought about the early days when the fleet first arrived, when danger loomed, and when she had promised the Lyrani protection. "We kept our promise," she said quietly to herself. Lena joined her, smiling. "And we've gained more than knowledge. We've gained trust, friendship, and example for the galaxy." Arya nodded. "Yes, humanity is not just about exploration or conquest. We are about choice, and we chose to protect life." The Lyrani pulsed brightly, as if affirming her words. Their lights reflected across the water, creating patterns that danced like music. It was a reminder that courage and empathy could create beauty, even in the darkest corners of the galaxy. News from other human colonies arrived. Many had begun to adopt similar policies: protection of native species, ethical colonization, and collaboration with alien life. The message was clear. Humans could stand as protectors, not destroyers. The example of E47 spread throughout the galaxy, inspiring hope and respect. One morning, a delegation of Lyrani approached Arya with an unusual gift. They pulsed colors that formed shapes resembling a miniature map of E47, highlighting energy nodes, safe paths, and areas of interest. It was their way of thanking the humans and ensuring future generations could coexist peacefully. Arya took the gift carefully. "We will honor this. You have our word." The Lyrani's lights formed one final message. "Together, we shine brighter." Months passed, and the humans and Lyrani worked together to prepare for potential visitors, friendly or otherwise. They shared knowledge, mapped the planet, and strengthened their bond. The humans knew that someday the galaxy would test their resolve again, but now they had a partner, an ally that was unlike anything they had ever encountered. Captain Arya gathered her team one evening. "Look around you," she said. "We came here as explorers. We faced danger. But we also chose to protect, to understand, and to learn. That choice has made us stronger. Humans protect life. That is who we are. And now we have friends to help us carry that truth forward." The team nodded, feeling the weight and beauty of her words. As night fell over E47, the river reflected the stars above, and the Lyrani's lights danced like constellations across the glowing landscape. Humans and aliens sat together, sharing stories, laughter, and quiet moments of reflection. In the distance, the shadow of the rival fleet lingered, but they no longer inspired fear. They were reminded by the humans' actions that true strength lay not in weapons or force, but in courage, compassion, and the willingness to protect the vulnerable. The story of E47 became a legend among human colonies, a story not of war or conquest, but of alliance, trust, and the power of standing up for what is right. The Lyrani were safe, humans had proven their character, and the galaxy had witnessed a new model for coexistence. Captain Arya stood once more by the river, watching the glowing creatures pulse softly in the night. She felt a sense of peace, knowing that humans had done something truly remarkable. "We chose to protect," she whispered. "And in doing so, we found a friendship that will shine across the stars forever." The Lyrani pulsed in agreement, their lights bright and harmonious. Together, humans and Lyrani looked toward the stars, ready to face the future, confident that courage and empathy could light the darkest corners of the universe. And so, on the glowing planet E47, a new alliance was born, a symbol of hope, respect, and the simple truth that life in any form is worth defending. Humanity had shown the galaxy that protecting the innocent, choosing empathy, and standing for what is right was not weakness, it was strength. Humans said clearly, "Don't hurt our extraterrestrial friends."